Hi everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me for my Facebook Live a day later. With the holiday yesterday, it wasn't gonna happen. My husband had taken the day off so we could get some stuff done for our upcoming trip soon, and so it just wasn't gonna happen to do a Facebook Live. But I thank you for joining me a day late, and I hope you had a very good not Thanksgiving, a very good Halloween. It was freezing here in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, where I am. And we took the kids out for a little while, but it was freezing cold. And we have a ton of candy left over. I don't know what we're going to do with it. We normally get a couple hundred trick-or-treaters at our house. And so we purchase the giant, like Costco size bags of candy. And we have an entire one left that's not even opened. And I don't know what we're going to do with it. Oh, maybe we'll donate it somewhere. I don't know. But we have a ton of candy left. But I think that there weren't as many trick-or-treaters because it was just freezing cold outside. My son said that there was a basketball game at the middle school, so maybe that cut back on some of the trick-or-treaters. Maybe they were there. There was also a football game last night for the high school near us. So maybe that cut down on a lot of the trick-or-treaters. We definitely did not have as many teenage trick-or-treaters as we normally do, so that may have been the cause. Otherwise, it was just cold. Maybe people just didn't want to come out because it was freezing. But my kids, they got a bag full of candy. It'll just be one of those things that, mom just like gets rid of it a little at a time until it's gone. That's what we do. But, anyway, it was a good Halloween. The kids had fun. So we're back into the swing of things. It's November 1st. It's time to jump into Christmas now, right? Yay! Just a couple of things before we get to our card today. Winter Wonders Part 2. There is only 10 days left to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin for November. You need to be subscribed by November 10th to receive the Winter Wonders Part 2 kit, and it will be 24 over-the-top tags. So very fun, very exciting. It's going to come in that cool box. Isn't that box beautiful? So if you want to subscribe to this, time is running out. You need to do it by November 10th. Happening today, lots of stuff going on today, November 1st. The Christmas Time is Here Sweet is starting. I'm trying to figure out where to put stuff that I don't forget to pack it for my class tomorrow. But the Christmas Time is Here Sweet is available now. You can purchase it now. It is a beautiful stamp set. It's a stamp set. It comes in 2 cases. This one is, I think this one's photopolymer, and then these are the rubber, or maybe these are the rubber and this one's photopolymer. It comes in 2 different stamp sets. It's like a photopolymer rubber mix, which is very, very cool. I think this is actually the photopolymer one, so you can fill in the inside, and this is the rubber one. There's also dies, beautiful DSP, some gold ribbon, and gold glitter enamel dots. These 2 things we're actually using today. And then there's a bracelet too, which would be great for a gift for Christmas. Anyway, you can purchase all of these things now. Head to my online store. These are all available to purchase now. Words are hard today, you guys. But you can purchase all this now. Also available today, you guys, you can purchase the trimmer. The beautiful, beautiful Stampin' Up! Trimmer. This is available today. You can purchase this today, and we're going to use this today too. So if you missed my kind of review on it, it's on my YouTube channel. You can, I think it was last week's video or maybe the week before. I don't know. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I can't keep my days straight. But let me show you what we're going to make today. Isn't this card beautiful? So there's some gold embossing up here. We're using that new gold ribbon, the gold glitter enamel dots. There's a beautiful deer down here. And all of these stamps are from, this is the Rustic Retreat stamp set. This is in the annual catalog. And I love this one. I love this saying. I have to admit, part of me really only bought this stamp set for this saying. You are braver than you think, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. And this is actually, it's by A.A. Milne, which is the person who wrote Winnie the Pooh. So this is like a Winnie the Pooh statement or a quote. So I love it. And I bought this almost specifically just for this. But I I do love this cabin, and I love these animals. That bear is really cute too. And you could do this stamp set with the bear if you don't want to do the deer. That would be fine. And this would be a fantastic card you can interchange to maybe a birthday greeting and use the bear instead of the deer. That would be great too. But I love this one. And this was a $1 million stamp set. When you reach $1 million in sales, you get to design your own stamp set. And I forget, Mary Polson was the one who designed this, and I just love it, especially that greeting. You're gonna see this a lot from me soon, maybe once we get past the holiday season, but it's in the annual catalog. Look it up. It's a fantastic set. So this is our card. Isn't it beautiful? And there's some line you can stamp inside too. I never remember to stamp the inside of my cards. I'm really bad at that. I need to be better. But let's get started. We're going to start with our buffalo check background, and for that I'm going to pull out, let me find it. I'm going to pull out my Stamparatus to use the buffalo check background. Now, if you don't have the Stamparatus, you definitely want the Stamparatus. This is a must-have tool in your craft room. It's fantastic, especially for, let me pull this up, especially for these bigger stamp sets. You can just put it on the plate, leave it on the plate, and then it will be ready to stamp. And the buffalo check, I found that you do really need a couple of different passes with it. You need to stamp it a couple of different times to get that really solid image. So the Stamparatus is perfect for that. Now I already have my paper in here, and I am just using a half sheet of Sahara Sand. Now this is way bigger than we're going to need, but we're going to trim it down, and then I'll have the extras I'll use for another card or for punches or something. So I'm going to grab my Sahara Sand ink. We're going to do tone-on-tone stamping with this. I find that it's just easier to go with a bigger piece of cardstock when you're stamping a background stamp. If we were to go with the same size as our card, we wouldn't be able to hold it down with the magnet, and we just don't want that shifting on the paper or on the platform. And if it sticks to the stamp, then we have to put it back exactly where it was, and that's sometimes challenging to do if it's right in the middle. So I am just using a bigger sheet, holding it down with my magnets, and that way if we need to stamp it more than once, which I anticipate we will with this buffalo check, then we won't have a problem lining everything back up, and it will be stamped perfectly. So with these bigger ones, you really want to give it a push. Don't be too gentle. You really want to push these down. Now you'll notice I don't have it all the way up against the edge because I really want to make sure that I'm pushing really, really firmly, and that's why I have it more in the middle. So that is our first, and I didn't get that side at all. All right, that's our first pass, and you'll see, I mean, it looks good, but I want a more solid image. So we're gonna go in again. And if you need to stand up and give a little bit of extra pressure, do that too. If you're a stand-up stamper, then you're already standing, you're ready to go. But you just wanna make sure that you are giving it a good press all over. Okay, let's see what that's. Much better, looking pretty good. I think we're gonna go one more time, especially over here. I feel like I'm missing this left side almost completely. I don't know what I'm doing. So with the background stamp, I have taken out my black mat, so the paper is right down onto the platform of the Stamparatus. You do not need your black mat when you're stamping with the red rubber stamps, only with your photopolymer. Okay, this is gonna be perfect. Bada bing, perfect, and it's all lined up perfectly because those magnets held it in place, and we didn't have to worry about, okay, this magnet's like, I'm not letting go. We didn't have to worry about it moving at all. So we can just release that from the Stamparatus, and then we're gonna trim this down. So let me put our Stamparatus away. It's a great, great tool. You want that in your stamp room. All right, I'm gonna pull out our paper trimmer, our fantastic paper trimmer. And I'm going to pull in our paper again. And we want this to be 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to trim this down. I'm just trimming along the edges right now just to cut off any of those edges, and then we'll trim it down to what we want. And that is a little, I think my stamp was mounted a little crooked on the apparatus. We have a little, look how thin you can cut. Isn't that fantastic, you guys? I really, really love our new paper trimmer. Okay, let's cut this down to 4. To 4 right here. I love, and so this piece I can save and use these for stamping or punching, so you're still not wasting if you use a bigger piece. And then 5 1/4. So we're gonna go up here to 5 1/4 and cut that off. Perfect. So we have our beautiful, perfectly stamped buffalo check background. All right, let's move on with the rest of our card. Let me move all these little scraps out of the way. Okay, let's bring in our card so we know what we're doing. My card base is Early Espresso. It is just your half sheet of cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4 down the side. I'll use my bone folder just to give that a good press. And then I have a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 4 by 5 1/4. We'll stick this on the inside. This is a really dark cardstock, so writing on that dark cardstock is going to be a little challenging. So whenever I'm using a dark card base, I really like to put in just a piece to make it easier to write. There we go. So that just goes right in there. And again, you could stamp this, you can add some DSP, you could embellish it any way you want. All right, we're gonna put that buffalo check piece right on the front of our card so we don't lose it. Okay. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And as that ink continues to dry, it'll even out a little bit more, which I love, and it'll lighten up a little bit more too. All right, so I have another piece of Sahara Sand, and you could actually, this is big enough that you could even cut it off of this piece when you're trimming it, so you still have a purpose to use that piece. This is 2 by 5.5, and then I have a piece of Merlot, which is 1 by 5.5, which I have run through the Corrugated embossing folder, which I love. It's one of my favorite embossing folders. And then I have another piece of Sahara. Oh, I hope you guys are still with me. My phone tried to reconnect. I don't know what happened. I hope you guys are with me. I cut this rectangle with the stitch rectangle dies. It's one of the more middle-sized ones. I should have counted which one it was, but if I weren't doing this in a video, I would stamp first and then cut it out. So make sure you do it that way at home. Stamp first and then find the one that best suits your greeting. For the sake of the video, I've pre-cut it, but that may not go so well. We'll see. We'll see when we try to start stamping. I did not cut an extra one of these, so we're gonna have to get it good the first time. I used my Embossing Buddy. We're gonna gold emboss on this, so I just wanted to swipe that across. And we're gonna pull in our Versamark ink. This is our sticky ink that you want to use when you're embossing, and I'm using that Sending Warm Christmas Wishes from that Rustic Retreat stamp set. Let's get this. Okay, we're gonna try to get this straight. We'll see. Hold your breath, everyone. And I'm stamping it on the right side of that rectangle because we're gonna add the bow on that left side. So a little low, but pretty good. We're gonna go with it. I know you guys probably can't see it. It's a water mark ink, so it's hard to see in a video. So let's add some embossing powder on top. So beautiful. So it's a little low, but I think we'll make it work. We'll just add some gold enamel dots up there to fill in that space. There's no mistakes in stamping, right? So we've added our gold embossing powder. I'm going to take my heat tool and just heat this up. When I'm embossing, I like to heat my heat tool up off to the side for just 15, 20, 25 seconds. It just gets the heat tool nice and hot, so when you do start embossing, your paper is less likely to warp from the heat. So it'll start, there it goes, it's already embossing. So you can see how quickly that's going. I'm going to turn this so I don't scorch my fingers. There we go. Beautiful. And so now after you've stamped this, I would run this through the Big Shot, and then you're going to get your greeting perfectly centered because you're going to do it through the Big Shot. My Big Shot is actually packed and ready to go for my class tomorrow. I have my big Christmas Stamp-a-Stack tomorrow, and so a lot of my supplies are all packed up. All right, we're going to take the deer. We're going to use some Early Espresso ink, and we're going to stamp that on the bottom of our Sahara Sand piece. I'm going to get that, make sure that's nice and inky. And we're just going to line that up on the bottom and give that a little press. Beautiful. Now you could color that in if you wanted. I decided I don't think it really needs it. You could absolutely do it. You could also gold emboss it if you wanted it to kind of coordinate, but I think that Early Espresso really ties into the card base. I just love this. All right, now that our stamping is done, the rest of our card is going to go together very, very quickly. What happened to there it is. So I'm going to take my deer piece, and on the left side, I'm going to run a line of snail, and I'm just going to stick this corrugated Mary Merlot piece on here. Just like that. And actually, let me pull this off. I don't want it quite all the way at the top. Now I cut this at 5.5 before I ran it through the embossing folder. And when you run it through the corrugated embossing folder, it tends to shrink. Oh my goodness, I cannot get this straight to save my life, you guys. All right, I think that's good. It tends to shrink just a little bit. So I don't know if you can see on the ends. I hope the camera is focusing, but there's maybe like a 1/16 of an inch hanging of the Sahara sand hanging over the end, which I actually kind of like. I like that they're not the same lengths. Now, if that bothers you, and you can see it better on this side, so we have like a little edge on the top and the bottom. Now, if that bothers you, cut your Mary Merlot piece a little longer than 5.5. Run it through your embossing folder, and then after you adhere it to your Sahara sand piece, you can just trim the top and the bottom if there's any excess on there. So we're going to take our dimensionals, and I'm going to stick just a couple on the back here of our greeting piece, and I'm keeping them more on the right side than the left side because our left side is going to hang off a little bit more. So we're going to line this up nice and straight, I think. We'll see. Pretty good. So that's perfect. And then we're going to do some dimensionals and attach this piece onto our card base. Now again, you could mix this up if you wanted to make a birthday card or maybe a thank you card. This would make a great masculine card. Maybe do without the gold ribbon for a masculine card, but it'd be a great masculine card. So this piece is going to line up exactly with that early espresso piece. Just right against the edge right there. Perfect. Beautiful. So we're going to add a little bow right here, and I am using that new gold shimmer ribbon that is in the Christmas Time is Here suite. It is beautiful, beautiful ribbon. I love this ribbon. Now remember, all the products in the Christmas Time is Here suite are only available while supplies last. So if you love any of those products, you need to purchase them quickly. Kind of timeline of how long they're going to be available. It is literally just while supplies last. So they could sell out in a day, they could sell out in a month. We have no idea. So if it's a product you love, maybe you love this ribbon, you want to stock up, you need to stock up right now instead of waiting, because you don't know how long this stuff will be available. And I wish I had a better timeline I could give you guys, but it is just while supplies last. So make sure you purchase while you can. And you can head to my online store. Use this host code when you shop this month. I will send you a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. So there we go. Beautiful. I love that bow. I think that really ties in that whole Christmas thing. And then we're going to finish it off with these gold glitter enamel dots, which I love. Aren't these gorgeous? So beautiful. These are my favorite. I may stock up on these because these are so pretty. All right, we're going to scatter 5 of them around, and I'm going to start with the littlest ones. And I think I'll add a little one over here. I want to use kind of a maybe this size up here. We're just going to kind of try to fill in that space up there. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool just to pull those off. And we need 2 more, so we'll go for one of these bigger ones. Bigger ones are a little harder to get off. There we go. And I think I'm going to put one right there, and then I'm going to go for another real little one. Just right there, I think. That is pretty. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Don't you guys love it? I love that gold. All right, if you don't have your Take Your Pick tool, make sure you add that to your order too, and the Stamparatus and the trimmer. You need all of those things. They are fantastic tools, must-haves in your stamp collection. All right, that is our card. Quick and easy, right, guys? You could definitely mass produce this one. I think it is beautiful and just a great one to send to all your friends and family this year. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you're watching this on Facebook, I would appreciate it and love it if you shared it with all your crafty friends. I love to meet new people, and sharing my channel helps me do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can head to my online store to purchase any of these products. We have tons of new products going out today. We have the new trimmer. We have the Christmas Time is Here suite. Lots of fun stuff to purchase. And I thank you very much for joining me. I will be back next week on Thursday on our scheduled time. Until then, have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.